So setting up a small office really is not that difficult when we talk about the technology. So let's go ahead and take a look here real quick. The first thing we want to do is start with a router. Now that router should have wireless capabilities as well, support DHCP. So both of those. Now the router speed itself on the ports, remember you're going to have the router that fits your internet connection type, Cat6, coax, whatever that is. And then you're going to have ports on that, and hopefully the port is going to be 1 gig or 10 gig. It'd be nice if it was a 10 gig port. You're probably going to pay more money for a router with 10 gig, so you could go with 1 gig if you like. So whatever that is, just make sure that the port, moving on to the IDS, IPS, and firewall, make sure that the port connection from the router matches the port connection on the IDS. So don't get a 10 gig router and not be able to plug it in because your firewall is only a 1 gig. So make sure they match. Also on the firewall, IDS and IPS firewall, that is really an appliance base. So you'll just buy that, put that into your environment. And you want to make sure that you have pass-through failures. So in the event that that firewall fails, hardware-wise, you don't want it to stop all the traffic within your infrastructure. So just make sure that there's a pass-through in the event of a failure. Most of them do. You'll want to check on that. Then your switch fabric here, it's drawn out here as a redundant switch fabric just for high availability, but it could be a single switch fabric. Again, make sure the media type is the same coming off of the firewall into the switch fabric. 10 gig preferred if we could have 10 gig throughout the entire network, but 1 gig will work as well. From your desktops, from your tablets there on the left-hand side, you're going to connect tablets, phones, and things of that nature via Wi-Fi, 5G, or whatever it is that your router supports in its wireless configuration. And then your desktops and laptops are going to connect directly to the switch. Now, depending upon your environment, you may not have desktops and laptops, or you may only have laptops, or your desktops may come with wireless built in. So you may or may not want to have a wired switch environment at all. If you choose not to, that's fine as well, but just make sure that you do that. Connectivity is drawn there. Then for your backup system, set up a backup, just a desktop, a Windows desktop would be fine. And this is your centralized file repository. You can do this through local authentication, and we go through authentication on another drawing, so see that video. But here, just hang a USB drive out there, and you can use a great product called SyncBack Pro that will allow you to sync up from your desktops, laptops, and sync actually to that USB drive, create home folders for everybody, and just do standard Windows password and ID. You don't need to set up an AD server or anything of that nature. And then, of course, mirror that USB drive to a second drive. And then, as you see here, shooting down to the lower left-hand corner, shoot that using backup, SyncBack Pro, shoot that data from that backup file server down to online storage as well. Your print services, you have two options really. You can hook your printer right into the network fabric, right into the switch itself. Those printers tend to be a little more money. You'll have to price it out. Or you could take that printer and hook it directly to the back of the backups desktop and share it. That would work. Or you could buy individual printers. So whatever it is, printing is pretty flexible. And then the last thing is, how do we get email to the environment? I suggest that you do that and your office productivity software. You do that through cloud-based services. There are free email services as well as paid services that you can get. Google Docs, Office 365, lots of options available for you there. That's been a small network design. Doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. It's very remote. You can actually take some of this stuff out if you choose to, but this is just a general design and hopefully will get you started in the right direction.